So I'm going to show you how to make maple syrup from your own trees, your own maple trees in your own front yard or backyard or wherever they may be. So what you want to do is you drill a hole in the side of the tree. You want to make sure it's a tree that's bigger than 1 foot wide. And just using a regular power drill, you want to drill exactly the size of the tap. So that's the tap. You drill a hole, put the tap right in there. You can see this is dripping really beautifully right now as we speak. Put the tap right in there. Then you have your hose and it drips right down into the bucket. And then you basically just put the other end of the hose, get a bucket, whatever size you prefer. 2 gallons is a good carrying size. And it's 2 gallons a day is about as much as I've been seeing with this tree. So you make a hole in the top of the bucket that's like the right size that fits tightly. Look at that beautiful maple water in there. It's actually wonderful to drink. It's nutrient rich. It's some of the most pure water you can actually drink because it's directly filtered right through the tree. This is what we're going to reduce down to make maple syrup, and as you can see, it's a lot of water that gets reduced down to a little bit of syrup. So I think the standard is about 2 gallons for about a half pint. That makes about a half pint of maple syrup. If you have a tree in your yard, all you have to do is replace the bucket about once a day. You'll get a full bucket every single day. Also a note, you want to be conscientious, especially it's in your own yard, it's your own tree, so you want to take care of your trees and make sure they propagate well in the next year. So when you're done with your maple tap for the year, you want to plug up the hole with just like a branch that fits there nicely so the tree can heal itself up. You don't want it just leaking all the time. First, you start with your pot full of crystal clear maple water. I just use a colander and a very, very clean t-shirt. Just filter the water through, and it removes any little pieces of, I don't know, bark or anything that got in there, or even just tiny bits of sand. It'll remove everything. Then just get you boiling. Then you boil the water down for about 20 gajillion hours. Then it starts getting really bubbly, and that means it's thickening, but it's hard to tell from the pot. So you actually don't want to go by the thickness that is in the pot, because it will get thicker when it cools. This is just where you have to be like really paying attention. It's very similar to where if you've ever made something with marshmallows, like marshmallow popcorn, you know, you look away for 1 second and it burns. Baby it, keep stirring it, keep an eye on it. And then if you want to check it, you just pull it, kind of lift it up so it cools down a little bit, lift it up off the burner, and just kind of check the consistency, check the thickness. It's like candy. It's kind of like candy tasting. Oh, and by the way, at this point, your house will start having a very sugary maple scent. Okay, so now it's getting really pretty syrupy here. Oh my goodness. This is so amazing. You can see it's thicker. It's a little bit, it's like more darker in color. My roommate is waiting on me because I'm in the way. Okay, so just gonna pour it down into here. Look at that! Oh my goodness. It is so good. This is all it makes. This was like 1.5 gallons, maybe 2 gallons of maple water. Only makes a half pint. I'm going to just take a little spoonful and let it cool and then taste it. Okay, moment of truth. Oh my goodness, that is so good. Oh my gosh. It is so flavorful, so sweet, and it has like a very distinctive, it just has like a particular flavor that's unique. It's not like, I mean, and that's what's gonna happen if you get maple syrup from your local trees or from your tree in your yard. It's not gonna taste exactly like the maple syrup from trees from another state, from Canada, or from wherever you're purchasing your maple syrup. It's gonna have its own distinctive flavor, and this is so good. I'm going to eat this right up. So that's like where, if you're a foodie, this is the next level of goodness, is eating your own local foods that have their own flavors and their own intricacies that are so interesting and unique and so tasty. Okay, so since I started this video, I've made 4 batches, and they all came out a little different, I think because of the length of cooking time and how I kind of handled them. And I got them on different days, and they're kind of different circumstances, but they all came out so good. This was the first one. So I really like this consistency. It's kind of runny, but it's like, this is kind of more the right syrupy consistency that usually syrup is. This one came out too thick. I had it in there too long. It foamed up like way too much, and then there was a little bit of like burned edges. It still tastes amazing. It's just not like my favorite consistency. So this time I overcompensated and made this one way too watery, but it's actually still really tasty. It's just really liquidy syrup. I could probably put it in and boil it down more. And then this is the one I just did. It's hot right now, and you can see like a little bit of that sugary foam on the top. And this one, I have yet to see how it will thicken when it cools off. This one also was really interesting because I left it out on the porch. Our porch is shady, so it was cold for half this week, but then the weather warmed up, but I just didn't have time to get to it because maple water ferments really quickly. So you have to keep it refrigerated if you're gonna delay making it into syrup or if you're gonna drink it. I'm really interested to see this flavor because the fermentation just made it stronger. You notice, by the way, these ones are half full now. They were full, but I've been eating them this week. So they are now a half pint each. So thus concludes our maple syrup making tutorial. So I hope that people go out and try it. It's super easy actually, and so delicious and so worth it. So I would really recommend, if you have like a nice mature maple tree out in your yard, do this. It's so good. It's so worth it. So enjoy.